Welcome back, this is Jeff Byers, and this is video 3 of our series for pouring the milk in, doing this liquid simulation, and now we're at the point where we need to cache. If you like what you see, you're done with the animation of the picture, you're comfortable with how the particles are landing, we got a little bit spilling out, which is fine, and we're ready to, and we're done playblasting. We'll finally do a real high-res playblast when we're all finished with everything. But right now, we want to cache this, so that's the next step. So to do that, you're going to select your particle simulation, and you're going to hold down the space bar, and you're going to go to End Cache. You're going to go to Create New Cache, and you're going to go into End Object in the option box. In here, we have a cache directory, okay, and you can call it whatever you want to. It's going to go into your end cache directory. If you set your project up properly with all of your folders, you'll find it in end cache. And excuse me, you can call it whatever you'd like. So I'm going to call it, let's just call it FIN for finished, FIN. And everything looks good. You don't want to change the cache format. You want it to be MCX. You want to play every frame, evaluate every frame, so go ahead and click on create. Now it does have to go through the process of simulating, so I'm going to hit the F9 basically. Okay, we just got done with the simulation. It takes a while. I don't know how long it's going to take on your computer. It could take 5-10 minutes. But I'm going to rewind it. Now that you got the cache done, it's pulling from the cache. It's basically simulated everything. Now it's going to run in real time. I'm going to click off and just go ahead and play it, and this will play in real time now, which is pretty cool. Okay, great. So the idea here is that you've cached it. That's the next step. Make sure every step that we go through, you need to save your scene as, so you can go back and fix things if you need to. Okay? So I'm going to pause this. I want you to save your scene right now, and then we're going to move forward. Okay, everything's cached. We're back, and now we're going to go in here, and we're going to make this look more like liquid. We're going to turn it into a mesh. So once it's cached, we're good. We're going to click on particle, and now we're going to go through the process of meshing it. So we're going to go into modify, convert end particles to polygons. You can see what we have here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, let's see, the end particle shape, and the threshold we can see is set up to 0.6. Let's go ahead and get that set up to where it fills that area. Okay. A little bit better. And we'll just get this set up to where I had it. Threshold at 0.2. So I'm going to do 0.2. And blobby radius, I was playing around with this. That's pretty close to 7.9 on that. And mesh triangle size is 0.125, and the max resolution is at let's keep it at 100 right now. Let's click off of that and see how that looks. Let's go ahead and play the simulation. And so now the balls look like a mesh. It's not perfect by any means, but it will look a little bit gravelly, but it looks like it's looking more like water. Okay, that looks weird. So let's go ahead and go back, and let's go to end particle, and it looks like we got that set up. Let's go ahead and turn the max resolution to 500, and let's go ahead and see if that will help a little bit with the resolution. Let's go ahead and set that up now. Again, that's looking pretty good coming out of the object. Okay. Not crazy about that stuff, but see what happens. Just fill in the water, or fill in the glass up. I'm just kind of playing around with how this looks. I think I like that better. 0.5. We had a 0.2 at 0.15. Let me go to 0.2 like we had it, and it goes away. Let's go to 0.125. That should show some splatter, and that looks better. I like that. Max size is 0.125, 500. It will be different with yours. You're going to have to kind of play with these numbers, because I think that will look a little bit better. And I'm going to go back, and yeah, I don't like the way that looks, but does it look any better with quad mesh? Not really. I think triangle is going to be your best bet. Now, we're not going to get fantastic looking Phoenix FD water or real flow water. Those guys are using something totally different, fluid dynamics. So this is using end particles, and this is actually pretty good for what we got. Best so far. So let's take a look at it again. It's simulating pretty quickly now. Threshold of 0.125, blobby radius at 0.879. And yeah, it looks kind of blobby, but I think it looks better. The splash looks nicer. Triangle mesh size is 0.125 and resolution is 500. What if we put the resolution up to 1000? That would slow us way down, but it might make it look a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to pause it now. I'm going to hit the escape, right? Escape key a couple times, and then I'm going to hit, yeah, then it should stop. Alright, so what I can do here is I can turn the max resolution up to 1000. I don't know if that's going to crash my system. So I'm going to go back to 500. Okay, hit enter. And I probably should save this. Okay, so I've got it cached. Now I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to go, just type in mesh up. There we go. Save that. Cool. This takes a long time. Again, this is not Phoenix FD. Again, this is free, right? So I'm going to do 1000. So I got it saved. And hit enter. I have no idea. I've not gone this high before. Then I'm going to go back. And let's see if it makes a difference. It's still rendering pretty quickly. Let's see if the resolution does help it. If it makes it... Yeah, that looks way better. It's just globby looking, but the resolution, get more like little splatter droplets. That's kind of cool. It looks like it's pouring out like mud, like clumps of mud, like clay, like watered down clay. That's what it looks like to me. It looks it looks like milk that's been in the fridge for like 5 months and it's curdled. That's what it looks like to me. So let's just say we got curdled milk. So yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I can fiddle with this for a long time, and I don't want to waste your time. So here's the thing. We can hit. Let me hit escape. All right. So The whole idea about this whole thing is when we go through the process, we have to make a decision, because as far as simulation time goes and what you are looking for, I could get this really looking close to water. It won't be perfect, or milk, but I would have to go back and set the resolution up on the container that we did before to over 500. But that kind of resolution, you remember the container we created out of the cylinder, and I went from 100 to 50. I went to 100. I had 100 first when I did before I did the video, and it was horribly slow. So I can't even imagine some of you guys on laptops. It would take forever. So this is bad enough, right? Some of you are taking forever to do this. So we could get it close, and I could go from 100 to 500, but it would take 5 times as long for it to simulate, and you wouldn't even be able to see this simulate. You'd have to be play blasting all the time and stepping away for like an hour or so. So I mean, I'm not saying we can't get it close to that milky liquid, like having it look really close to being like liquid. Right now it's just a little clumpy. We could get it to the liquid state, but it would take forever. I want you to know that you could get it close, but we just don't have the time. You guys don't have the time to do that. But I wanted you to realize that we're pretty close. This is really good. Okay, so this is what I want you to go ahead and do a play blast of this, and this will be what you're going to be turning in. Now I want you to do like kind of like when it's simulating, when it's going in, would be kind of fun as a nice render. So we'll take you through how to do that, but I want you to go ahead and play blast when you think you're close to what you see what I have here, and it could take a while. So I'm going to play blast this. I'm going to save it first. Okay, mesh up. Let's just do 6 on this. I don't know if I've done anything different or just been yakking, but let's go ahead and save that just to make sure. And I'm going to go back to frame 1, and I'm going to do a play blast. And I'm pretty happy with what we have so far, so I'm just going to do a play blast real quick. Milk FIN finished. Alright, cool. And we want this to be full quality, scale all the way, frame padding, we have 500 frames, so we only need 3 on that. And we want to render at least all the 500 frames. And it's already white, so we're good, and the milk thing is transparent, so that's great. So we don't really have to, but I'm going to show you in the next video how to do one shot of a beautiful rendering. I want to have you get it to look as nice as you can, and we'll take you through that process. A still frame. I don't expect you guys to do a full render of this. That would take forever, and I don't need that. So let's go ahead and do the play blast. And I'll pause the video. We'll come back when it's done. Okay, we're back with the simulation. That took a while. Definitely looking like curdled milk to me. So anyway, we'll watch it. Again, I think we could have gone a lot higher resolution when we did our container, which would have made it a lot thinner looking instead of, thick and disgusting looking. But it works. I'm okay with that for the time we had, so good job if you got this point. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're stopping here. Make sure you save everything, save your work, and then when we come back in the next video, I'll show you what we need to do to create. And I want you to kind of create a something like this would be kind of a cool shot. I'll show you with that water, the milk coming up the other side, and and it's missing the glass. That would be kind of a cool shot, and we'll do a full render of that in action, which is kind of fun. So we'll do that in the next video. So I look forward to it, and I'll see you then.